Hi, guys. Welcome to episode number 39 of the For Animals for Earth podcast. Today's episode is 5 things that you can do for Earth Day that will take you less than 10 minutes to plan. So, Earth Day, oh my gosh, we're almost here, April 22nd. So, that is Thursday of next week. I'm curious if you are excited about it and if you've thought about doing anything special. Um, I, uh, I have to say that I guess stating the obvious, but Earth Day, I feel like one day a year is obviously not anywhere near enough. And I know we have Earth Month, which we're in, which also isn't anywhere near enough. So I know that you already know that if you're here listening to this or watching this, but I just feel remiss to not say that we really need to be doing something every day. So these ideas that I'm sharing are something to do special around Earth Day just to mark it, but I hope that they're things that could really be realistic, every day. So I wanted to start off by telling you that there are going to be a lot of links brought up in today's episode. So you can find all of those at foranimalsforearth.com/podcast/39. And I also wanted to celebrate something fun with you guys. I don't actually know if this really means anything, but it's fun. We have ranked on some charts in other countries for Apple Podcasts. We are actually number 57 right now in New Zealand. So yay. Thank you, to anybody who's listening from New Zealand. I don't know. It just makes me really excited to celebrate the small wins, right? We're number 113 in Costa Rica. We were towards the top 197 in Jamaica, and we showed up in Great Britain, South Africa, and Australia. So, anyways, shout out to all of you who are listening from there. Thank you so much for your support. And that's just a fun little thing that we can all celebrate together. So, 5 things that you can do, and these are easy. They'll take less than 10 minutes. Yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so number one is to pick one species to support throughout this year. So I think the reality is there are many, many endangered species of animals that we could help and we all want to help. But this is just an idea to narrow yourself down to one to really learn about that species and really learn about some amazing ways to help and really focus in on that. I like the idea of a year, but of course you could do it for a quarter or whatever. I'm going to be doing this one with my kids. I'm not sure why it never occurred to me to do this with my kids before, but I think that I'm going to let them pick an animal and it'll be a really great way for them to learn about that animal and really learn enough that it will stick with them, for the rest of their lives. So, World Wildlife Fund has a great resource for looking up species. So, there's a link to that in the show notes. Number 2 is to implement a new daily habit. So, if you listened to episode number 37, so 2 episodes ago, I was talking about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and an app that I really like, which is called A World. You can find it in the show notes for that episode, which would be foranimalsforearth.com/podcast/37. But that app is an app that you can put on your phone and it'll trigger you to do something every day, which I just think it's such a great app. It's really cool. So that is a way to develop a daily habit. Another resource that I really love is put out by nature.org, and it's called the Everyday Sustainability Guide. And it is something that you can download for free, and it's just really good. And it's a very approachable guide to pick something that you can kind of start as a new daily habit. And then once that is very much a part of your life, then you can pick another one. But one at a time is what I've found works for me. If I try to do more than one thing at a time, I just get overwhelmed and I don't end up doing any of them. So that was number 2. Number 3 is to look for an Earth Day festival. So, last year things were kind of on lockdown and we didn't really get a chance to get together to celebrate Earth Day. But this year it looks like things are happening again. There's a website called everfest.com that specifically calls out Earth Day events. So maybe you can find one, in your community or near where you live. There's a link to that also in the show notes. Number four is to do with kids. So if you have kids in your life, this is a great resource for downloading different activities, printables, things like that, that you can do with the kids in your life. And I don't know, if you're like me, you learn something new every time you download, or not download, but every time you do a kids activity. I think that the resources available for kids now are so much more extensive than what existed when I was growing up. So I continued to learn a lot, and I love that it's all organized in one place and versus hours of me searching on the internet. So I have a link to teachervision.com, and that's a place with like hundreds of downloads that you could pick for Earth Day. Pick something that speaks to you and then do it with a child that is in your life. And number five is to take a hike, literally take a hike, get out in nature, find a place that you can go and really connect with nature on Earth Day. I think that one's a really easy one to say we're going to do, and then we don't, or we let it go. If you're looking for a new hike, I've mentioned this a lot, but my favorite app is called the All Trails app. It's really good. There's tons of reviews of the different hikes, so you can really get a feel of whether it'll work for you. And yeah, so there's a link to that in the show notes. And as well as if you want to meditate while you're hiking, I linked to our meditations that my friend Patty from Inner Peace Yoga and Reiki and I have taped over the past couple of years when we've done live guided meditations. So there's a link to all of those that have been recorded, and you could listen to one of those while you're hiking as well. So those are the five things. I hope that one of them speaks to you. I hope you're excited about Earth Day and Earth Month and Earth every day, making a difference every day. And I hope, I hope to hear from you. I hope to hear what you're doing. So as always, you can connect with me over on Instagram at 4 Animals for Earth. Okay, bye guys. See you next week.